Good morning, wrestling fans. June 19th, 2024. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time to talk about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite on TBS. I am Lance Brock. Thanks everyone for listening this morning to the Wednesday episode of 360 Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Just a reminder, unfortunately, not able to use the 360 studios right now. Not sure exactly when we'll be able to do another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, but hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully it will just be a few days or so, and then I'll be able to get back into the 360 studios and start doing new episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Just a few days or so, or at least I hope so anyway. But for now, let's talk about tonight. All Elite Wrestling Dynamite live 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS. And Dynamite will be live from the Eagle Bank Arena in Fairfax, Virginia. 8 p.m. Eastern, TBS. And we already know what will be kicking off this week's episode of Dynamite, and that is Rush Toro Blanco taking on MJF Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Not only is this going to be the first match of the night on Dynamite this week, but this match will also be presented commercial free to start off this episode of Dynamite this week. First thing, you got a commercial free match, MJF versus Rush. I'm sure it'll be a very good match. MJF's first match back in AEW after his hiatus. So I'm sure they're probably not gonna have MJF come back and lose his first match back since the World's End pay-per-view in December. Or at least you really wouldn't think they would anyway. But who knows? And the Young Bucks will compete in an AEW Eliminator, World Tag Team Championship Eliminator match, I should say, against the acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. The Acclaimed had a bit of a run-in with the EVPs last week, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, on Dynamite. That got people to thinking if after that little run-in with the Elite, if that means the Acclaimed will be on the team that will go up against the Elite in the Blood and Guts match next month on the special episode of Dynamite. We will just have to wait and see. Also, we begin matches for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. featuring Orange Cassidy, Dante Martin, Kyle O'Reilly, and the Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe teaming up to take on the Don Callis family. And Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay before their AEW World Championship match at Forbidden Door will have a face-to-face on AEW Dynamite tonight. And we will also have a contract signing between the AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa before their match for the AEW Women's World Championship at Forbidden Door. Also, this contract signing will be hosted by Mariah May. And I think I forgot to mention the matches when I mentioned it a little bit ago, but the Owen Hart men's corner finals, we will see Pac taking on Claudio Castagnoli, and on the women's side, Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander in the beginning matches of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Of course, last year won by Willow Nightingale, and she is in the tournament again this week. Or this year. Sorry about that. This year, we could possibly see a repeat winner on the women's side of the tournament. But we will just have to wait and see for that, fans. And last night, NXT had the 25-man battle royal for a shot at the NXT championship. And most notable going into it was the tease last week about maybe wrestlers from other promotions showing up in this battle royal. And there were two superstars from TNA who showed up. Frankie Kazarian, and say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry also showing up in this NXT Battle Royal. But as soon as he entered the ring, he was ganged up on because he talked about getting this shot and taking the NXT championship back to TNA. So the NXT superstars weren't too happy with that. But it was actually his fellow TNA superstar, Frankie Kazarian, eliminating him. And Frankie Kazarian actually had quite an impressive performance in the Battle Royal. Also, last night was episode 3 of Who Killed WCW. This one more focusing on like the New Blood storyline with when Vince Russo came in trying to compete more with WWF, make WCW more edgier, like he always says. I was writing a TV show, bro. Or, you know how Vince Russo talks, I'm sure. But another very good episode of Who Killed WCW last week, the final part. So make sure you tune in to Vice here in the United States and Crave in Canada. And tonight, AEW Dynamite, once again, of course. And that is all for this Wednesday morning episode of 360 Good Morning Wrestling fans. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in and listening this morning. In the comment section, you can go there right now. Leave your thoughts on last night's NXT, last night's Who Killed WCW, and like I said, not sure when I'll be back with new episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, but I will be back right here on my way to work for Good Morning Wrestling fans. So I hope everyone listening right now will be too. But until then, have a great pro wrestling day.